The Desmond Bain trade wasn't the only massive trade on Father's Day. We're here on The Insider, sponsored by Jiffy Lube. He's James Ham, I'm Kyle Madsen, Joe Brazil on the board. The San Francisco Giants, out of nowhere, an hour before first pitch against the Giants, or against the Dodgers?
Yeah.
A couple hours. They acquired Rafael Devers from Boston, one of the 12 best hitters in baseball. 10, 12, 15.
I think he's like 8 or 9 in OPS.
Yeah,
something crazy.
Flat out rakes, dude.
Yeah.
He's on year 2 of a 10-year, $313.5 million contract. The Giants acquired him for pitchers Jordan Hicks and Kyle Harrison, along with outfield prospect James Tibbs and minor league right-hander Jose Bello. Bello? I'm going with Bello.
Okay.
Bello. This is... we can never let the Kings get too far from our conversation.
Yeah.
This is the kind of trade we're talking about when we talk about the Kings kind of pushing all in. I don't know that it's a little bit different in baseball. Picks aren't as involved, et cetera, but Kyle Harrison is a legit pitching prospect. Jordan Hicks is an intriguing arm that I think was going to be certainly movable if you didn't like his development. And you go get a player like Rafael Devers, who just immediately dramatically changes your lineup, a lineup that's been struggling. You finally have a player who has hit 30 home runs multiple times.
Yep.
And he could certainly do so again this year. Was he got 18 this year, I think, so far?
15.
15?
I think it's 15.
15? It's halfway there. I love this, man. This is, again, whether this, I see a lot of the critique about it as reading what rival GMs are saying or rival executives are saying. They're like, oof, his deal with the Adames deal in the next 7 or 8 years, that's really going to hurt. I don't care. I don't care what this looks like in 7 or 8 years. This makes the Giants more competitive right now. Ideally, it makes them more competitive in the immediate future. There is the whole issue of Devers wanting to play third base, and then the Red Sox signed Alex Bregman and made it so he wasn't going to play third base. And it was this whole interpersonal issue, and it sounds like it reached an unsalvageable point where it was better for the Red Sox to get off of Rafael Devers. And there weren't that many teams that were saying, hey, we'll take on the whole contract. The Giants said, we'll take on the whole contract, but you're probably not going to get as much as you could on the open market for him. I love this. There's no salary cap to work under. Go get the guy that's going to make you better.
Well, I think they worked out a deferred compensation package for him where they're taking $7.5 million a year off of every year, and then stringing that out afterwards just to reduce his salary figure down to like 22 or 23 million.
Which is great.
Yeah,
I am in full favor of. I mean, obviously, anytime you can acquire one of the 15 best hitters in baseball, you do it. But as long as it sounds, again, I'm trying to piece together all this stuff from people in Boston and national baseball writers and stuff. But it sounds like the bigger deal was how they handled the third base thing, and not so much that he wasn't playing third base. And he's been DHing for them. If he's just going to DH permanently for the Giants, that's a lot of money for a DH. But if he's going to consistently be one of the 10 or 15 best hitters in baseball, that's easy work for me.
Yeah.
And if he's just going to DH, there's a really easy chance that contract ages a lot better than it would if he was playing third or first.
Well, and I think this points to, again, I don't want to compare them completely because in the course of their history, the Giants have been able to sign some players, right?
Not recently.
But they swing and miss more than any Major League Baseball team that I can remember.
Giancarlo Stanton.
Yeah, Giancarlo.
Carlos Correa.
Yeah.
Carlos Correa.
Yeah, just keep going down.
Bryce
Harper.
Yeah.
Aaron Judge. Like you just
Shohei Ohtani.
Shohei Ohtani. Nice.
They
Another
just
good one.
keep swinging and missing, right? So I think that they're to a point where they have to do kind of what the Kings do, where like you got to go out and build your farm system so you can go trade for a guy who's on a $250 million contract. And then you got to bite the bullet. Well, the same thing with the Kings. They need to go out and trade for a guy who's on a long-term contract because you're not going to be able to sign them in free agency.
Yes. That's it. Yeah. And they didn't wait till the trade deadline. They didn't go, let's see how this thing's going to play out. Buster Posey in that front office said, we need a dude. And the Red Sox are having an internal issue with that dude. There's not a lot of competition here. Here's our best offer, and they got a trade done for a deal that seems to be consensus. The Giants won pretty significantly in the immediate aftermath.
Yeah.
Again, we'll see how this thing ages. Everything in sports is going to be judged by wins and losses, but the immediate takeaway for me is the Giants identified a guy that they wanted, that they needed, and they could get him without. I thought when I saw Kyle Harrison, Jordan Hicks, and other stuff, it's like, oh, Bryce Eldridge. Oh, like that's the level of player Rafael Devers is.
Yeah. So
this is, man, I love it for the Giants in the immediate. Again, if it screws them 8 to 10 years from now, I would way rather compete for titles over the next 3 or 4 years and have to worry about 8 years from now.
I'm on board 100%.
Oh no, the 2033 Giants might be impacted by this.
Okay. Salary cap.
You can win the division this year.
Million.
You can win the freaking division this year. What are you, game back?
Yeah. Wild.
Dude, I love this. Shout out to the Giants. Shout out to Buster Posey in the front office for getting it done. And shout out to the Giants for actually spending the money.
Yep.
All right, you haven't been able to get it done, like you said. Haven't been able to get it done in free agency. Fine. We'll take you and your contract.
We're in.
And get the deal done. Very, very good for the Giants. We'll keep talking trades. We'll get back to the NBA. If you have any thoughts on the Giants deal, Mitch in New Jersey, I know you do. We'll get to you on the Elk Grove Kid Talk on 916-909-1320, 916-909-1.